Do you hate the sound of your voice? Have you ever heard your voice on a recording device? And have you ever said, that's not my voice? That's not what I sound like. The bad news is, yes, that's nearly exactly what you sound like to people listening to you. But the great news is that you can change your voice and you can make it much more full and resonant, and you can make it much more authoritative, credible, and warm. And you should, because the reason why your voice isn't sounding that way is because it's hindered by physiological tension that you keep in your vocal mechanism. And when that physiological tension does more than just hinder your voice, make your voice sound a little bit thinner, a little bit tighter, it also makes it so that you don't have access to your prefrontal cortex as well as you do when you're totally relaxed and you don't have any tension in your upper body. You're not a strange, bizarre, unrelaxed creature. You're a normal human being living in our society today, and we are all presenting with way too much tension in our vocal mechanisms. And you can really hear it, and you want to start to do that. Look around, listen for what you hear on television or even in meetings or presentations, and listen for how people speak. And if you're hearing a lot of this kind of sound, then that person's really kind of talking with their, you hear a lot of this too, with their throats. It's really not necessarily the most healthful thing you can do. And what you're looking for is to have an impact on people that's really has a lot of executive presence, has a lot of warmth and kind of control. So it lets people realize that you're credible, that you're an authority figure, and that you're to be trusted. And that's what this kind of a voice does. So I'll tell you, it's very, very simple to change your voice. Here's the thing that surprises most people, or there's a few things that surprise people. Speech is air molecules that vibrate. That's what it is. Actually, it's also can also vibrate through solids, which is how we hear our own voice, which is why our own voice sounds fuller, more resonant than when it does conducted by air. And of course, it can be conducted by liquid, which is why you can kind of hear your friends when you're underneath the water in the pool. But we don't conduct business through bone or solid walls or even in the pool most of the time. So we really have to work on our voice as it's air conducted. So, what is speech? It's, as I say, speech is air molecules that vibrate. And we change our speech, and that really starts at the very bottom of our lungs. And the more air that you use, the fuller, more resonant, more authoritative your voice sounds. So you really want to realize that speech is the exhale of your breathing. So you just take a breath in because we have to do that to stay alive. And then when you're talking, you use the exhale as your speech. And that's all you have to do. I want you to click the like button right there and click the subscribe button and sign up with me if you want extra help.